That was me. And I had to say something. Your mileage may vary, survivor, but if you're tired of toxicity, especially in leadership, then walk with me. Hey, survivor. Welcome to episode 116 of the Vibrant Survivor podcast. In this episode, I'm sharing some things that you can do when leadership cares more about power, money, and image than the people that they serve. But first, let's self-regulate with a 4-4-8 breathing exercise, if you'd like. And I invite you to stretch, maybe settle into your seat, wherever you are. And we'll inhale for 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 8. Ready? Inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What do you notice during that long exhale? Grab your notebook and pen, and let's dig in. Hey, Survivor. Welcome to the Vibrant Survivor podcast. Do you want to disconnect from a narcissistic or toxic situation and heal? Are you Googling how to identify a narcissist, narcissistic abuse, and boundaries? Are you feeling stressed and lonely while trying to avoid being sucked back in and lied to again? Hey, I'm Lesley. As a busy wife and mom, I fell for the lies and manipulations of narcissists. I wasted my time, talents, and money on users who kept moving the goalposts. I wanted real relationships and business opportunities and to enjoy life with my family. Instead, I struggled with anxiety, panic attacks, and insomnia, and I couldn't trust my body or anybody until I took a holistic approach to healing. In this podcast, you'll find tips for healthy living, trauma healing, and boundaries so that you'll have the freedom, confidence, and inner peace to respond, not react, after narcissistic abuse. Take a deep breath in, let it out slowly, and just relax. This time's for you. Dealing with narcissistic leadership is an emotional roller coaster ride. It can be intimidating, frustrating, isolating, exhausting, and it can leave you feeling guilt-ridden, self-blaming, and shaming. Who wants that? Seriously. Toxic leaders often manipulate their image, bully, and silence those who challenge them. They may pull rank or play other social dominance games, adapt or mitigate in response to what they perceive as a threat to their position, paycheck, or power. I recently spoke at a school board meeting about the failure of the administration to properly handle student and family complaints about teacher misconduct in the classrooms. And you could literally feel the tension in the room. There were a lot of emotions, cognitive dissonance, invalidation, and re-traumatization of victims, even those who were brave enough to show up and speak their truth, and lots of fear. And I saw right through the obvious attempts to rally the troops, those being the district employees and families, to spray perfume essentially on a crappy situation, which reeked of toxic positivity. Oh, the district's great. It's wonderful. We're doing all these great things. We've got all these stellar students and great accomplishments and yada, yada, yada. And there was a resistance to getting uncomfortable and acknowledging administrative failures regarding student safety. And there was this upholding of a false image by rug sweeping and just widespread dysfunction. And it's hard to consider the fear and possible triggers and trauma of leaders like this when they are actively hurting you or passively allowing it to happen, and even positioning themselves to shut you down or tune you out when you point out these serious failures, even when you're using your inside voice. Side note, can we just talk about the power of proximity and why people generally ignore or don't see toxic leadership and are really easily influenced by it? Most people are distracted, overwhelmed, and or uncomfortable with confrontation, and they will distance themselves from conflict at all costs. After all, our bodies and brains are wired to identify threats and to keep us safe. So when people are in survival mode like this, they're not going to dig deep for facts, understanding, or even perspective on a situation. And the closer you are to a toxic individual, group, or system, the more you feel the impact. It's like the person who is standing next to the stove with their hand above it while the stove's on is going to feel the heat way more than the person who is sitting across the room in the living area patiently waiting for someone to call them to the dinner table and eat. So victims are going to feel it the most. Direct witnesses are going to get that secondhand smoke, so to speak. And the farther removed someone is from a situation or person, the easier it is for them to dismiss, excuse, or ignore the problem, especially if this makes them feel safer to do so. But here's the truth. Just because someone isn't directly affected by a situation or a person doesn't mean that they should stay silent. Silence can be seen as complicity in the behavior, and it can also allow toxic leadership and other injustices that go along with that to continue. That was me, and I had to say something. Your mileage may vary, survivor, but if you're tired of toxicity, especially in leadership, then walk with me. Here are 3 strategies to navigate toxic leadership and advocate for change. Number 1, recognize the power of proximity and step back to see clearly. When you are too close, the chaos and conflict of a situation can feel overwhelming. And at this point, you have to listen to your body and trust your gut and figure out what you can tolerate or not tolerate. And distance can help you see manipulation tactics, patterns of behavior over time, and avoid emotional entanglement. So it's okay to disconnect from the dysfunction of toxic leaders and focus on making an impact elsewhere if you need to and if you prefer. Don't throw your pearls to pigs, not advocating for that, but be aware of the role that proximity plays and make sure that you're able to get that bird's eye view or that big picture perspective. Number 2, speak truth even when others won't. Fear keeps people silent, and especially when those in power are favored, largely feared, or fortified by toxic systems. Speaking up is not about confronting or convincing everyone of something. It's about planting seeds of truth. The narcissist is going to try to plant seeds of doubt, but you, survivor, can plant seeds of truth. You can even do this by sharing your truth with one trusted person. You can also speak up by addressing issues instead of individuals. For example, at this board meeting that I spoke at, there were a group of individuals that were going in support of one of the administrators who's kind of in the hot seat right now and in trouble and facing some sort of disciplinary action from the Board of Education. And they all had red t-shirts on that stated their support for this administrator. And it was a very powerful statement. So you can even make a statement in that way without necessarily saying anything, because all of those people did not speak, but they walked in there together, sat together with their red t-shirts on with this message on the front, and presented a unified front in support of this administrator. Document and focus on facts over feelings. You can build alliances. After all, community counts, and there's strength in numbers, and you can use your voice in strategic ways, whether it's public comments, petitions, supporting ethical leaders, or even using the tone of your voice tactically in terms of not literally humor, especially if it's a serious matter and it's not funny, but you can use a lighter tone or something that would help to disarm defensiveness, especially when you are standing up to leadership. Number 3, shift your energy to where it matters most. Speaking from experience, do not waste energy engaging in fruitless battles with toxic officials where there's no cooperation, or maybe there's some future faking happening about taking action. Oh yeah, we'll address that. Or if someone's passing the trash, so to speak, kicking the can down the street, avoiding dealing with the issue, just trying to pacify folks temporarily. Also, go high. Find the level at which critical issues or serious situations are getting dealt with, or where they're getting the attention that they deserve. Who else is getting results, whether it's in your community or at the leadership level? Where are they getting results, and how are they getting results? Are they filing complaints? Are they filing paperwork? Are they going to speak in front of a particular panel or board? Are they going to the state level? Those kinds of things can make all the difference. Maybe someone in your community has a blueprint that you can follow in your situation, or that you can help someone with in their situation. And in addition to having a blueprint, this person may be fighting their own battle and appreciate an ally. And you're both feeling supported, validated, and encouraged, and sharing information and resources. Win-win. Focus on the positive. I'm not talking about toxic positivity. I'm talking about showing up for others, helping to educate and inform people, and supporting leaders who actually care about their community. Those are things that you can focus on that are more positive, that can create momentum that leads to action and helps to create change. Also know that even small efforts can make a difference. This can include casting a vote, attending a meeting. Sometimes at meetings, optics matter, and the more people that look concerned or express concern about a matter can really make a difference by capturing people's attention in leadership, lifting their voices together, relaying the same message, and that can really create some change. Even exposing corruption. People who are narcissistic or toxic and in leadership can be very short-sighted and say things that put the nail in the coffin, so to speak. And if you have documentation, if you have footage, and things like that, especially if there's a hearing or some kind of a trial or committee meeting that's taken place, or they've had to testify under oath and it's literally on film or it's recorded, that can make a huge difference in educating the community on who and what they're dealing with. And don't forget to celebrate those wins, no matter how big or small. Finally, treat yourself well. Therapy or counseling, a power walk, some cuddle time with your fur baby, a favorite food, a candlelight bath, a mini facial at home, whatever would encourage you in the aftermath of standing up to toxic leadership or supporting someone else who is. These are ways that you can channel your energy in a way that really makes a difference. Survivor, when it comes to toxic leadership, you shouldn't have to feel afraid, guilty, or ashamed for speaking your truth or speaking up for or standing by others. You can create change. Listen to your body, use discretion, and protect your peace. Remember, when power is abused and justice is stuck, step back, stand firm, and speak up. Thanks for tuning in, Survivor. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Hey, Survivor! Are you tired of feeling exhausted, stressed, lonely, and stuck in narcissistic relationships? and you just want closure and healing? I spent years rationalizing toxic relationships and dysfunctional environments in the name of community, connection, and career. As a result, I wasted my time, talents, and money on users who kept moving the goalposts. One of the worst was an alleged murderer who discarded me after I caught him lying, stopped helping him for free, and held my boundaries. Even though I dodged a bullet, I felt depressed, ashamed, and I doubted myself. I want you to know that you don't have to suffer in silence, feel alone, or crazy anymore. Come and experience the power of creating your own closure without the permission or participation of the narcissist. I've been no contact for over 4 years now, and I've grown personally and professionally. I have more clarity, stronger boundaries. I'm building a life and business that I've always wanted and enjoying real relationships. I know you want to break patterns of getting into toxic relationships, even if you don't mean to. And it feels so good to disconnect from dysfunction, set and hold boundaries, provide closure for myself, and focus on self-care, and to empower my kids to do the same. Go to closurecoachingsession.com right now and get ready to heal after narcissistic abuse. If this podcast has helped you understand who and what you're dealing with, sharpen your discernment, and move forward on your healing journey, share it with another survivor. Help me help others by leaving a review for the show. And let's connect on social. Take a screenshot, share it in your IG stories, find and tag me at The Vibrant Survivor, and I'll share your post too. I look forward to connecting with you on IG and seeing you back here. You're not alone and you're not crazy. Know who you're dealing with, know who you are. Take care, and I'll meet you back here next week. Bye-bye.